Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Let's go ahead and dig into the news from the People's Voice. Let's start with this here. So, former CIA chief suggests involvement of Israeli intel in Iran's protests. Okay, so what we're finding out here is that the Mossad is behind so much of these protests, like the one in New York City, protesting what happened in Venezuela. I mean, boom. I mean, you had like a professional protest immediately. And then they're trying to talk to some of those people. And they don't want to talk to them. They don't want to answer any questions. It's an NGO set up by, guess who? Yeah, Soros and company. All those people. Or, he's right there with the Mossad in Israel. And so, anyway, that's who's forming all of these protests. Israel's behind all of them, or almost all of them. Let's put it that way. And then Trump warns Colombia's president to watch his ass following Maduro capture. So once again, if Trump is putting it out there that this guy from Colombia should watch his ass, that means it's been done. It's already happened. Okay. And I know a lot of people are like, well, how can that be? It's a movie. I mean, look at Ukraine. Look at everything around the world. It's already been done. It was done a long time ago. And then Venezuelan opposition leader doesn't have the support or the respect to be president, says Trump. And, it's as time goes on here, Venezuela will have honest elections and they will elect their own government. But right now, though, what Trump and them are going to do is make sure that everything is done correctly. Hold on here. And then, hold on. And then Israel declares war on free speech. Americans who post hate speech will be jailed for 5 years. This is what was going to happen to us. Absolutely. And in some parts of the world, it was already happening. So keep that in mind. I mean, this isn't just fluff. It isn't just a fake warning. This was really happening around the world in many countries, and it would have happened here. It was happening up in Canada. And then Iran demands UN response to Trump's provocative and unlawful threats. Iran's already been taken over by the White Hats. Okay? So that's been cleaned out. It was Israel. It was the Mossad who had infiltrated Iran a long time ago. They controlled Iran for many years. When we say, or when Q says things are not the way you think they are, I don't know if Q says that or not, but I know it's been said so many times. You can't just look at something at the face of it and go, okay, I know what's happening. Because it doesn't work that way. This movie is so twisted. And then Venezuela's President Maduro, captured by U.S. and indicted in New York on drugs and weapon charges. And so there's a good chance that 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 Maduro has already been executed. Okay? There's a real good chance that he's already been done away with. So I wouldn't be surprised to learn that. Let's go to a couple of things here that Brenda sent me from X. Epstein claimed Trump snitched on him.
Screen, it says Epstein believed that it was Trump who went to the police and as Epstein said, dropped the dime on him. Okay, second, here are two direct quotes pulled from Jeffrey Epstein about Donald Trump. I'm just shutting down the nonsense about Trump today. So anything that you hear, I see friends from Hollywood, they're putting out pictures and stuff that's absolutely fake, and it's going to keep happening. Trump is not implicated. So if you can throw on the screen right now, these are two direct quotes from Wolf, who talked directly to Jeffrey Epstein multiple times. If you put up my screen, it says Epstein believed that it was Trump who went to the police and as Epstein said, dropped the dime on him. That is to say, inform the police of what is going on. Epstein believed, and he believed to his dying day, that it was Donald Trump who went to the police and dropped the dime on him.
So the 25-cent question is Epstein actually dead? I don't know. There's a good chance that he's still alive. And no, he definitely did not die in that prison, okay? Definitely not. He talked a lot. A lot. He gave up a lot of information. And then
what would you assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody, just call it out. You don't have to raise your hand.
Definitely Russia.
Definitely Russia. That's confident. I like it. Who says Russia? Anybody agree with her? Hands? Okay, great. Who else? China. Stop yelling at me, but China is a good answer. Anybody? Who else? China?
North Korea?
North Korea. Any North Korea takers? And Venezuela? Anybody? No? Oh, yeah. One guy in the back. A little worried about Venezuela. Everybody's cool with Venezuela? No threat? Okay. Let me ask you this. Which one of these places can claim to have the largest oil deposit on the planet? More than Saudi? More than Iran? Wow. Okay, what about things like gold? More than all the mines in Africa combined? The fact is that Venezuela is arguably the single greatest resource of oil and minerals on the planet. So, why is this country in the midst of one of the greatest humanitarian crises in modern history? Let's meet President Nicolas Reyes. After rising to power on a wave of nationalist pride, in a mere 6 years, this guy has crippled the national economy by half. He has raised the poverty rate by almost 400%. Luckily for the rest of us, he's up for re-election. So, who's running against him? This is Gloria Bonalde. Now, Gloria is a history professor turned activist. She's running against him on a social justice platform and on the strength of, in my humble opinion, just not being an asshole. Analyst predictions, as of today, have the chances of Venezuela's total economic collapse at 87%. On the news, they'll call it a crisis. But on the world stage, they'll call it a failed state. If you've never heard that term, other examples of a failed state in recent history are Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. And if that's not bad enough news for you, well, Venezuela is also the only one of these places within 30-minute range from the U.S. of next-gen nuclear missiles. You will not hear about any of this on the news because the biggest players on the world stage do not want you to. To them, unstable governments are nothing more than the greatest of opportunities. So, Russia, China, can never be the most major threat until countries like Venezuela leave the door open to our very own backyard.
And yeah, not many people know that Venezuela had such resources. Yeah, let me say this. Which country has the most oil and the most gold and silver? Tell me again, why the people are eating out of garbage cans and have lost 25 pounds. Yeah. And then, let's see here. That is, I'm going to end it right there. I want to thank you all for being here. God bless you all. Have a good day. Bye-bye now.